guys, it's Joe here, and in this video, we're going to be talking about all the books I read in January and February. I haven't done an update for January or February, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go January and February and March and April, so you will be seeing probably 6 videos throughout the years of 2019, one for every 2 months, just to make it a little easier and a lot more books to tell you. The first book I read in 2019 was Sturm by Victoria Aveyard. I wanted to finish the series because I really enjoyed the story and I enjoyed the characters, and I kind of wanted to get done with it. And yes, this is a very big book, and I even have some scars for it because some people don't know how to keep their foods to themselves. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I think I rated it a 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. It's one of the two. I'll put it on screen down below. But I really did like this book. I think it was a very good ending, and I can't wait for, I think it's called Broken Crown or something. It's like another add-on to the series that isn't actually part of the series, and I will be getting that book, and I may actually do a book review on it if I like it. The next book I read was Sea Witch by Sarah Henning, and I really did love this book. I think I read it in about 1 day, 1 or 2 days. It was a super good book, and I have definitely told you guys about it before, and I just really enjoyed it. I didn't realize it was a retelling of Ursula's story from The Little Mermaid, but I think even without knowing that or with knowing that, it was a very well written out book, and I did love the characters, and I kind of wish that there would have been a second one, but this ended really well and there didn't really need to be a second one. The next book is The Unbecoming of Dyer by Michelle Hawken, and yes, you guys have heard a lot about this in the past couple videos because I have read this entire series and I've done videos about it, and this was just the beginning of that series reading. I really enjoyed the first book. I think it was probably my favorite out of the 3 plus the add 2 next to it, like the Noah Shaw books that you have either are going to see or have seen those videos. I really enjoyed this book the most. It was a crazy roller coaster ride, and there were some things in it that maybe some people shouldn't be reading, but I don't know. I really enjoyed this book a lot. The next book I read was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, I finally got around to reading this book, and I did love it. I am actually starting to read the second book, The Crown of Midnight, and I am probably going to be ending up buying the rest of the series, but I didn't know how well I was going to like it, so I only bought the first book. I think it was this book and then a second book along with the rest of the Dyer series. I really did enjoy this book. It had a good story. I loved the characters, and I did love the ACOTAR series, and I still don't know what series I like the most, whether it's this one or the ACOTAR series. Sarah J. Maas is a very good writer, and I do love her writing, so maybe one day I can live up to some people's expectations and have books just like her. The next book I read was This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, and I really did enjoy this book. I think this was probably the first book where the main character and the other main character, whether it was a boy and a girl, did not fall in love, and they didn't do anything romantic, and it was something new. Like, I did enjoy that they didn't get together because the story had them get together. I really did enjoy this book. I will probably be picking up the second book. I don't know yet, but I will definitely get there. I did enjoy this book. I mean, there was a few things where I wish things would happen, but I can't tell you what it is. And I am going to record a book review for this, but I have to like refresh myself of like what happened. I took notes on it. So before I do any video, I need to check up on how I really felt about this book. I know I liked it, but I'm sure there were a couple things that I would have liked more. The next book I read was for a class assignment, but I really did enjoy this book. It is called The Terrorist Son by Zach Ibrahim, and this is like non-fiction, so it like really happened, and this is the son of one of the terrorists that started 9/11, and it was just a really good book. I read it a while ago, and I don't remember quite everything that happened, but it was a very good book to read. I did really enjoy it. I don't really like reading what you would call real books or like nonfiction, but it was a very good book, and it was only like 98 pages. So this is something you guys should really read. It taught me a couple things about people, and it was really a life learning lesson that came out of it. And now for the ending you guys have all been waiting for. The first book of the month for February is The Evolution of Dyer, which is the second one in this trilogy, and I did like this a lot. I almost liked it more than the first one, and I think this was definitely a good add-on to the first book. I think I rated it 4 out of 5, or I think it was a 4.5 out of 5. And it was a very well written book. I liked the relationships between people. They were good, and like not just between Noah and Mara. I really liked the friendship relationships and the brother and sister relationships. Michelle Hodkin really wrote good like relationships. I know I've already said that multiple times, but I think she did a really good job on writing. The next book I read was The Retribution of Mara Dyer, and this is the 3rd book in the series. And honestly, if you want to know more into what I think, I did do a book review video, so go watch that if you want to know. But just to summarize it up, I did like this book. I had a few complications in the beginning, but after I got through them, I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the story. It was a good ending to what I think is a good series. The next book I read was The Becoming of Noah Shaw, and I also did a video on this. So pretty much what I'm going to tell you is all of the Mara Dyer series and the Noah Shaw series, I did videos on all of them. So honestly, I'll put the videos down in the description, but all you need to know is that I did like these and I did read them, obviously since they're on my wrap up. I really did like the first one a little bit of this book. I had a lot of complications with some of the characters, mostly the main character, who actually isn't Mara Dyer, but I mean obviously you think it'd be Noah Shaw, which it is, since it's called The Becoming of Noah Shaw, but I had a lot of complications with this book, and I did overall like it, but I don't think if it wasn't for the ending, I wouldn't have picked up the 2nd book. The last book I read in February was The Reckoning of Noah Shaw, and I think this was a good ending to the 1st book, but I still also had complications with this, with the fact that there's a character that's not in this at all, and it's one of the characters that I really enjoyed, and so I had a big complication with that. But there's going to be a 3rd book in the series that's coming out, I think, in November 2019, so this year, so I'm really excited to read that. Maybe. I was very iffy on the series. I did like the first 3 books, the Mara Dyer. The Noah Shaw point of view is kind of killing it. He's kind of a different character, but I think if you enjoy the Mara Dyer series, you will enjoy these books. Those are all the books I read in January and February. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Comment down below if you read any books, and if you did, tell me what they were. After doing that, like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this.